We learned that Arsenal need to control their discipline. We learned that City are not infallible.
You heard that? You heard that. So Arsenal need to control their discipline, which I agree with. So if Arsenal needs to control their discipline, so Manchester City are not meant to control their discipline. At the commencement of the match, we saw Rodri trying to badge and rile up Kai Havertz with that first minute, and he fell on the floor trying to get Kai Havertz sent off. That went by. Within the first 5 minutes, we saw the aggression of Haaland against Saliba, bashed into him, clattered into Saliba. Where was the yellow card or the warning from the referee? It was allowed to continue. Maybe it was called a foul, but no card. The first yellow card to Trossard, it is similar, less aggressive than Haaland, and Trossard got it. Welcome to the present. I'm still reacting to the aftermath of the match of the week, week 5, match of the weekend, week 5, between Manchester City versus Arsenal, ending in 2-2 draw in very, very controversial circumstances. I'm sure a lot of you see a lot of reaction on social media, on X, on YouTube, on Twitch. A lot of people are having their say on the very, very controversial officiating again once more by Mr. Oliver. He had a controversial performance last season, but yet somehow the PGMOL found a way to still give Oliver, quote unquote, the best English referee. And we all know the English referees are very pathetic. They are very incompetent. I don't think it's corruption. I just think once you are poor, you're poor. Without the foreign input of the foreign players, do you think a lot of you will be watching the Premier League? Absolutely not. So why can't we import and bring in foreign referees if the English referees are horrible? Without the input of the foreign coaches, none of you will be watching the English league because the English coaches and managers are absolutely pathetic too. It's the fact. I'm not making shit up. The fact is the fact. Now, Craig Bailey, who works for ESPN, had some interesting take on Arsenal not controlling their players' discipline. Let's listen to it. Fair use, fair use. This is courtesy ESPN. Fair use, fair use. Let's listen to the controversial take Craig Bailey had on this match.
Well, Kovacic is a good player, really good player. We know that, but you know, Rodri's the best in the world at what he does at this moment in time. I don't think there's too much debate about that. We learned that Arsenal need to control their discipline. We learned that City are not infallible.
You heard that? You heard that. So Arsenal need to control their discipline, which I agree with. So if Arsenal needs to control their discipline, so Manchester City are not meant to control their discipline. At the commencement of the match, we saw Rodri trying to badge and rile up Kai Havertz with that first minute, and he fell on the floor trying to get Kai Havertz sent off. That went by. Within the first 5 minutes, we saw the aggression of Haaland against Saliba, bashed into him, clattered into Saliba. Where was the yellow card or the warning from the referee? It was allowed to continue. Maybe it was called a foul, but no card. The first yellow card to Trossard, it is similar, less aggressive than Haaland, and Trossard got a yellow card. But Craig Bailey here is telling us how Arsenal need to control their indiscipline, but Manchester City are allowed to reign their indiscipline on other teams. So one rule for Arsenal and the rest of the team, and a separate rule for Manchester City. That is what Craig Bailey is inferring to. I'm not quoting him, but by what he's saying, that was inferring to. So Arteta are not trying to control their players' discipline, but Manchester City are allowed to go on a free reign of indiscipline on other teams. This is pathetic. This is absolutely pathetic.
Because once Arsenal got into gear after 20, 25 minutes, they started to be able to get some control in the game. They started to create one or two openings. They're very dangerous from set pieces. So no, as Jurgen said, I think City still probably slight favourites.
That is the narrative they want to continue. Now, I'm not arguing that City are still the favourite, which I understand they've won 4 times, but Arsenal can match City. And there is this subconsciousness from this so-called objective pundit who find a way to allow City to get away with their slew of indiscipline. We saw Bernardo Silva, a very classless player, trying to get Arsenal players yellow card. We saw how consistently, we've seen it for the last few years, how City players apply pressure on referees to card opposition players. City are the only team that are allowed to actually surround the referees with no repercussions. If any other team players surrounded the referee will give them yellow card. But City players can get away with everything and on all things. See, it feels like sometimes I just look at the game like, do you want City to always win the league? No, this is insane. So one rule for City, another rule for the rest of the Premier League teams trying to actually triumph over Manchester City. Because today's game, now nothing is guaranteed in life, but I'm 90% sure if we had 11v11, Arsenal win that game. Because yes, City had the first 25 minutes, they were controlling proceedings, they were on top of Arsenal, but Arsenal slowly and surely got into the game and we took the lead. Haaland scored the first goal. We equalized through a fantastic goal by Calafiori. Then set piece Gabriel makes it 2-1. And we're not under immense pressure until Michael Oliver, the referee, decided that he wanted to be the headliner. He decided he wanted to exhibit the main character syndrome that he wanted to show. And Craig Bailey here is telling us Arsenal need to control their discipline. But Manchester City, they don't need to control their discipline. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. But I still believe Arsenal can still win this league. We have the players, we have the mentality. This is a real mentality, not the nonsense we hear from City players, because they were accusing us of being soft, celebrating a draw. We all saw City today celebrate the same draw they insulted us for last season. How the tables have turned. How hypocritical is that City and Rodri told us we came for a draw, but yes, celebrate a draw against us today at the Etihad. It's not done and dusted. I feel down. I feel a little bit. I won't say a little bit. I feel very disappointed in the result, not because of the players. No. The officiating for me killed this game. There's no more common sense. And I still believe Arsenal has what it takes to win this league. Now, City is a formidable team, but we can see that one rule for City, another rule for the rest of the team, or teams rather. And for Craig Bailey and other quote-unquote pundits on Sky Sports, on Talk Sports, on ESPN, coming out with this nonsense, thinking we football fans watching this cannot see and analyzing ourselves. You must be out of your mind. You must be out of your mind. So let me know what you think in the comment section regarding what Craig Bailey had to say, the nonsense he had to say. Let me know what you think. Like the video on your way out. Subscribe if you're new here, and make sure you turn on your notification bell. I would like to know what you think about Craig Bailey's commentary regarding Arsenal and Arteta need to control the discipline of their players, but yet Man City can get away with practically anything they do that actually is unhealthy physically and assertive to the game. Man City can get away with anything, but Arsenal need to control their players. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Like the video on your way out. Subscribe if you're new. Make sure you turn on your notification bell. Very, very important. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.